This is Jonatan running through the code of assignment hand-in number 2 for procedural programming. I'm gonna describe every line of code and then also tell how I solved the different assignments through the way. First line I have is #include IOStream, which allows me to use a certain library with different keywords. And then I have #include in2, which is a library that I use for assignment number 6, so I'm going to return to this one. Using namespace std is keywords, or this whole line is making sure that I use a standard language, so I don't have to write std in front of every keyword that I use. Int main is what activates a function, and the whole function is included in this start curly bracket and ending with this curly bracket all the way down here, this one right here. Yes. And inside, actually the first thing I have inside my function is my 10 different variables with 10 different data types, and each their individual variable name and a value. And each data type has a minimum value and a maximum value, and I've then chosen some what can you say, like suitable values to each individual data type. For example, I have a signed integer with a -2, and this can only be allowed inside a signed, or not only, but it can be allowed inside a signed integer. On the other hand, if it is an unsigned integer, I can only use positive values. Or not only, actually only positive values inside of a certain interval. Moving on, then the assignment said that I was supposed to print the value of each variable inside to the output, and I used this keyword cout. Then I've added some text in order to make it visible inside of the output when I run the program, that I wish to print out the value of the variable first integer. Then I wish to print out the amount of bytes, which is then calculated with the keyword size of, and I wish to find how many bytes we have inside a variable first integer in this particular example. The next thing I wish to print out in the output is also the amount of bits I have. Then I have to do a certain calculation. Once again, I take the value of the amount of bytes I have inside of, then I multiply it with 8 because we have 8 bits per byte. And then I end the line with this keyword, end L, and then semicolon. And this is the same principle I've used in all of the variables. Just to demonstrate that I've actually managed to do this, I'm just going to show you the input I have. I'm actually running the program right now. So here, down to the double, I have my variable names, which are written with text in the cout. Then I have the value inside each individual variable. Then I have the number of bits, no, not bits, bytes, right here. And last but not least, the bits are here. So this was the first part I needed to do. And then quickly moving on down to the typecasting assignment. First, I'm gonna show you two examples just to save some time. First, we have the float a. We have a variable. I'm actually defining two variables in this line of code. I have, and I wish these variables to be of the data type float, and I name them A and B. and I add the values 12.4 and 3.5, and this is some numbers suitable for float because it's decimals, or you can say partly because it's decimals. And then I wish to actually I wish to typecast them as integers. So what I do, I want this to be a product, and I call it product just here, and I want the product. So in here I choose the data I want the typecasting to turn on into, then what the compute, and at the same time I actually also want to do a calculation at the same time. So what the computer does is first it typecasts the values A and B, so it takes 12.4 and 3.5 and treats it as integers. Then we are left with only, so then the calculation only uses 12 and 3. So the calculation is going to be 12 divided by 3, which is 3. And I wish to print this out into the output. Use again the keyword cout. Add the text, the product of first typecasting A and B, then dividing A with B. The value of the product, and then ending the line. Once again, I wish to demonstrate that this is something I've actually succeeded to do. I have the text here and the value here. The product is free. Yes. And move on to another typecasting example. Just gonna make sure that I actually have it in the input. Yes, I actually do. And here once again, this is a more simpler one. I define a variable, data type float, name P, value 50.66. I want the product. I name it product free, integer. Here is the actual typecasting, product free equals integer, which is what I wish to treat the variable as. Float is treated as an integer. I print it out, use the keyword again, add some text, typecasting P, the value, product, and this leaves me with only 50. This is again something I've actually managed to do. Here, typecasting P, the text I added, and 50 right here. Then the last part, which is I was supposed to make sure that creating a variable of the data type double, showing 15 digits. In order to make sure that the double will be shown with at least 15 digits, this is what I have to do. First, I had to add the hashtag include inomatic, which allows me to use a certain keyword, this set precision. And what happens is, first I have the variable up here with a long number that can only be inside of a double variable. With other words, a variable with the data type double. So I add some text. Then I use this keyword set precision, and this is what this is the keyword that I use to choose how many digits I want this double variable to be shown with. I write J to indicate which variable I wish to work with, and then end. And this is all printed out because of the cout. Once again, I'm gonna show you the input, and you can see it right here, and it's printed with 15 digits. During normal circumstances, it would only be with fewer digits. For example, we have this example over here, which is also a variable with the data type double, but instead I only have 8.7 blah 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 and so on. So as you can see, it's way fewer digits. And then I have cin.get so on, because there was some sort of problem with my program, I can actually explain this. This is something that Chichi helped me out with. Yeah. And then return 0, this means when the function has run fully, all the things have been done, then return 0. Returning 0 indicates everything is fine, ending the program. And this was all for me.